Hello everyone. Today we will learn and discuss about cropping system. In agriculture, cropping system is an important component. It refers to the type of crops grown and practices used for growing them. Cropping system has been traditionally structured to maximize crop yield. Now, there is a strong need to design cropping system which take into consideration the emerging social, economical and ecological or environmental concern. Here we will discuss about intercropping. This word shows intercropping clearly. Inter means in between and cropping means cultivation. We can say in scientific language, intercropping is the cultivation of two or more crops simultaneously on the same field. The most common goal of intercropping is to produce a greater yield on a given piece of land by making use of resources or ecological processes that would otherwise not be utilized by a single crop. For example, we can grow wheat crop with mustard. Why intercropping? Now here we are discussing about intercropping, so why we use intercropping in agriculture. There are four most important points. It maintains stability. It means intercropping adds diversity to the cropping system and diversity tends to lead to stability. And second point is reduced chemical use. Intercropping may allow for lower input level in a cropping system by reducing fertilizers and pesticide requirement. And last one is extra yield. Overyielding occurs when the yield produced by an intercrop is larger than the yield produced by the component crops grown in monoculture on the same total land area. Now we come on objectives. Major objectives of intercrops are: intercropping was originally practiced as an insurance against crop failure under rainfall conditions. At present the main objective of intercropping is higher productivity per unit area and stability in production. Intercropping utilizes resources sufficiently and their productivity is increased. Insurance against total crop failure under aberrant weather condition or pest epidemics. Increase in total productivity per unit land area, and judicious utilization of resources such as land labor and inputs. Now we will discuss about its types. Intercropping is mostly divided into four types. First is row intercropping. It means growing two or more crops at the same time where one or more crops are planted in rows. Second is strip cropping. It means where multiple crops are grown in narrow, adjacent strips that allow interaction between the different species but also allow management with modern equipment. Third is mixed intercropping. It refers to growing two or more crops at the same time with no distinct row arrangement. Last one is relay intercropping. It means growing two or more crops simultaneously during part of the life cycle of each. This means the second crop is planted before the maturity of first crop. Now let's discuss another cropping system. Multiple cropping. It means growing two or more crops in the same piece of land during a single growing season, and it helps to harvest as much as possible from the limited land resources on a condition that other resources required for production are effectively utilized. Types of multiple cropping. Multiple cropping has three types. Sequential cropping, where a second crop is grown after the harvest of a first crop. It is divided in four types. 1. Double cropping. Double cropping means cultivation of two crops in succession on a piece of land in a year. 2. Triple cropping. Triple cropping means cultivation of three crops in succession on a piece of land in a year. It means we can take three crops in a year. 3. Quadruple cropping. This term clearly shows cultivation of four crops in succession on a piece of land in a year. And fourth one is ratoon cropping, or simply ratooning. It is one of the most important method of multiple cropping. Ratooning is the agricultural practice of harvesting a monocot crop by cutting most of the above ground portion but leaving the roots and the growing shoot apices intact so as to allow the plants to recover and produce a fresh crop in the next season. Now, second type of multiple cropping is intercropping. Intercropping is the cultivation of two or more crops simultaneously on the same field. The most common goal of intercropping is to produce a greater yield on a given piece of land by making use of resources or ecological processes that would otherwise not be utilized by a single crop. Last type of multiple cropping is multi-story cropping. Growing plants of different height in the same field at the same time is termed as multi-story cropping. It is the practice of different crops of varying height, rooting pattern and duration to cultivate together. It is mostly practiced in orchards and plantation crops. Thank you.